The fears and worries swirl every time Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is in the headlines. So as tensions with India spike, the world, of course, watched with bated breath. Will their nuclear bluff become real? Is there really a nuclear leak that has taken place? Now, the International Atomic Energy Agency has told WION that there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever of a nuclear leak in Pakistan. But the real question is far more perplexing. Are Pakistan's nuclear weapons actually truly secure? Or is the world sitting atop a nuclear powder keg? Take a look.
Are Pakistan's nukes in safe hands? That's the question that the world can no longer afford to ignore. Will it take a mushroom cloud to rise for the world to be spurred into action?
Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki! Bharat Mata Ki!
India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has sounded the global alarm, urging international supervision of Islamabad's nuclear arsenal.
साथियों, आज श्रीनगर की धरती से मैं पूरी दुनिया के सामने यह सवाल उठाना चाहता हूं कि क्या ऐसे गैर जिम्मेदार और रोग नेशन के हाथों में परमाणु हथियार सुरक्षित हैं? मैं दुनिया के सामने यह सवाल खड़ा करना चाहता हूं। मैं मानता हूं कि पाकिस्तान के एटमी हथियारों को IAEA इंटरनेशनल एटॉमिक एनर्जी एजेंसी की निगरानी में लिया जाना चाहिए। मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा और साफ तौर पर कहना चाहूंगा।
Pakistan's nuclear warheads are stored in silos that are scattered across a network of underground sites, air bases and military garrisons. Many of these are located alarmingly close to restive regions. While Islamabad claims to possess a sophisticated centralized command system, the National Command Authority, analysts remain skeptical. Political instability, military control, and the shift to tactical nuclear weapons have exposed dangerous gaps. There are persistent concerns about partial pre-delegation of launch authority to field commanders, raising the risk of miscalculation or unauthorized use. Pakistan's nuclear saber-rattling is nothing new. From the Kargil war to the aftermath of India's surgical strikes following the Uri and Pulwama attacks, Islamabad has repeatedly brandished its nuclear arsenal as a shield, an admission of its conventional military inferiority. But now there's a new norm. India's message is clear. We will not be blackmailed, we will not blink, and if pushed, we will respond decisively.
कोई भी न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल भारत नहीं सहेगा। न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल की आड़ में पनप रहे आतंकी ठिकानों पर भारत सटीक और निर्णायक प्रहार करेगा।
A crumbling economy, a military under siege, extremists seeping into the state machinery, and now Chinese footprints across Pakistan's missile and radar systems. Together, this volatile cocktail makes Pakistan the most unruly nuclear state in the world. With a fragile economy, internal discord, and a military stretched thin, Pakistan's nukes are anything but safe. The world cannot afford complacency. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, now to give us more perspective, we're joined in this broadcast by retired Lieutenant General D.R. Soni, who's a former GOC and also at the Southern Command of the Indian Army. General Soni, thank you very much indeed, sir, for taking time out and speaking to us here in WION. So let me start off by asking you this. What's your take on what the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said, that the Pakistani nuclear assets need to be brought under the purview of the IAEA?
Thank you for having me on your show, Mohammed Salam. Very valid point as far as I'm concerned that the defense minister made. Why? Because nuclear nations need to be mature and responsible. Okay? They are holding, developing, and storage of nuclear weapons is a highly specialized task. A lot of security issues that need to be kept in place and put in place while you're storing these kind of armaments.
Right.
Now, if something goes wrong, then it is in the interest of the nation which is storing these weapons, these armaments, to actually find out what has gone wrong and how to deal with this earliest and in such a manner that there is no fallout whatsoever. Okay. Now, however, and if you actually have a look at where this leak is supposed to have been said, though the IAEA said that there is no leak. But if you go back into a little bit of a history, not very far back, you will find that these places have got illnesses which are absolutely not known about earlier. There are chronic breathing illnesses. There are places nearby, like in Dera Ghazi Khan, where they are storing nuclear waste material.
Right.
In the area of Sargodha and the surrounding area where the latest incident took place, call it an accident or whatever, there are people who have been evacuated, a large-scale evacuation taking place.
Right.
Now, whatever be the reason, this is something gone wrong. The Indian side, we all have been very clear. We are bound by the treaty which says we will not attack each other's nuclear facilities, and we are clear that we have not done so.
Right.
In fact, our Prime Minister is very clear. Our government is very clear. Our Foreign Minister, our DGMOs, we've not gone anywhere near these nuclear facilities. It's not in our interest. Because for God's sake, these nuclear kind of explosions, fallouts, and releases, no boundaries. There are no international boundaries that they see. They will go where the breeze and where the wind takes them. And on the other side, just across the border, is India.
Absolutely.
Why would India undertake such an act that it makes its own citizens threatened?
I think that's
so,
an important point, yes.
So, but you see, there is a point in this that the IAEA cannot go and look into any country's military nuclear arsenal. Yes, civilian facilities for sure. Like you're aware what all the IAEA is capable of and what is their mandate. Now, even the countries like the US, UK, France, China, Russia, their civilian facilities are all right, but no one can go and check out their military nuclear arsenals.
Absolutely.
Now, that is something which needs to be worked out because I believe the time has come. You know, there are defining moments in history. Could this be one of those defining moments in history that a nuclear-powered state has had a fallout of this nature? Whether it's right or wrong, we have to find out. And that we need an agency. And isn't it time, isn't this a defining moment to give that agency a little more power, or in fact, a lot of more power, that it can now go and check out the military arsenals of countries also? This will require an entire world sit down and talk kind of a show.
Right.
Because it's not going to happen by someone just getting after one nation, because he's going to say, why not the others?
Absolutely.
And, you know, he would be quite right, because after all, your national interest comes first, always and every time. Even for a rogue nation like Pakistan, his national interests are first.
Absolutely.
But in the sum of what all I've said, I 100% agree when the defense minister says that the IAEA should be more involved in the military arsenal, nuclear arsenal of a state like Pakistan. I do believe that the ambit of the powers of the IAEA will need to be enhanced.
I think
enlarged.
that's an
And for
important
that-
point. That's an important point. But
Okay.
also, General Soni, because we're short of time, I want you to weigh in on this other
Okay.
question as well. You know, there are these repeated nuclear rhetoric that we hear from Islamabad, and now what the Indian
Okay.
Prime Minister has said, that India will not bow down to nuclear blackmail from Pakistan. Do you think India has now, under Prime Minister Modi, changed the very paradigm in which we will now deal with Pakistan?
Absolutely, because you see, this is not terrorism we are talking about, that you can, sponsor terrorism and get away with it. We are not talking about nuclear arsenals and nuclear arsenals in the hands of people who have now questionable responsibility and maturity. However, we will take it that a nuclear powered state is led by a sensible, responsible, and a mature government as far as the nuclear weapons are concerned. But when things happen in India which are terrorist related, which we know are coming from Pakistan, there is no need to raise the ante. We deal with the terrorists. We
Right.
deal with where they are coming from, where they are training, where they are located. Even if they are going to shift their headquarters from place X to place Y, we will continue dealing with them so that we show to the world and we show to our population we are dealing with the terrorists and the people who are running them, who are financing them, who are training them. And we don't want to actually get into any conventional or other engagement with Pakistan. And hence, even if Pakistan actually raises this bogey again, it is time, frankly, the world has now seen where it stands and what it actually stands for with respect to terrorism. Frankly, Osama bin Laden was also knocked off in Pakistan only. So it's nothing new. It's a question of hiding it or keeping it in the back somewhere and not bringing it out into the open as far as world politics is concerned and to appease everyone. Now is the time, probably a changing paradigm, like you said, when things are going to be different.
Absolutely, indeed. I think you've summed it up really well. Thank you very much, General Soni, for joining us with that perspective there.
Can I just say one more? Can I just say one more
quickly.
thing? I'll
Yes,
take a minute more.
Yes, go on.
Okay, very quickly. So Pakistan is supposed to be saying that having an opaque kind of system as far as their nuclear arsenal is concerned. They're not reacting. They're making no comments. This is not the way a responsible government works. This is not the way a responsible military works. The best way and the only way to deal with such a situation is you say that, yes, this is a problem. It's happened. We're dealing with it and we will rectify it. And
Right.
wherever required, we will sort it out.
Absolutely.
And that is the way that a nation must deal with issues and shortcomings like this. And it's bound to happen. It's not that it's a zero mistake syndrome. No, it's bound to happen. Let's try and make sure that it doesn't happen again or doesn't happen to a large extent, because frankly, I'm worried. India is just across the border, just a couple of miles away.
Absolutely.
And that's not acceptable.
That's true. All right, General. Thank you very much indeed for weighing in and giving
Thank
us
you.
your perspective. Thank you very
And
much.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
Yeah. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.